She screamed for help, cornered by three men in the middle of a parking lot. Her designer coat was ripped, her heels snapped, her phone shattered. Everyone walked by, everyone except one man. He had grease on his jeans, his shirt clung to sweat, and he was holding a paper bag of groceries with one hand and a little girl's hand with the other. But when he saw her crying, everything changed. And she had no idea he'd once led combat missions overseas. Or that she was the daughter of the CEO he used to work security for until her betrayal nearly ended his life. Before we dive in, drop a comment with where you're watching from and don't forget to hit subscribe for more videos like this. Let's begin. Zane Holloway didn't look like a hero. To the person working at Carter's Mini Mart, he was the tired dad who always paid with wrinkled money and brought his daughter to the store right before closing time. To the people living in Brenton, California, he was the car mechanic who fixed flat tires for free and never wanted tips. But to the three college boys pushing a girl against a black car in the corner of the parking lot, he was trouble. "Stop it, let go of me," the girl screamed. A slap sound rang out, someone laughed. Zane's boots stopped in the middle of the parking lot. His daughter, Lily, looked up from the strawberry milkshake she was drinking. "Daddy," she said softly. Zane gently gave her the bag of food and bent down. His voice was calm. "Go inside the store, tell Mrs. Carter to keep you safe." She nodded, no questions. She knew what her dad's face meant. He walked toward the sound of mean people like it owed him money. "Hey," his voice cracked like a whip. The tallest guy turned first. His muscles under his college football jacket got tight like he was about to show off. "Who are you?" he said in a mean way. Zane didn't stop walking. "Let her go, you have 5 seconds. The shortest guy laughed. "What, you going to fight us, old man?" Zane stopped 10 feet away. 3 seconds now. The girl had a torn shirt, makeup running down her cheeks and blood on her lip. She looked up at him with scared eyes. Zane looked at her, not at the boys. "You're safe now." The lead football player pushed the girl aside and jumped at Zane like in a bar fight. It was a big mistake. Zane stepped to the side, grabbed the kid's arm, twisted it, and put him on the ground in one smooth, scary move. The scream that came next made the other two boys freeze. Zane didn't need to punch anyone else. Just being calm was enough to scare the rest of them away. When they finally ran away, dragging their crying friend behind them, Zane walked to the girl. "You okay?" he asked softly. She nodded, shocked. I think so." "Are you hurt?" "I'm just scared." "I'll call someone for you." "No," she said, suddenly worried. "No police, please." Zane looked at her for a moment. She was rich. Fancy coat, diamond earrings, everything about her said she had lots of money, but her eyes said something else. "I'm not from here," she whispered. "I can't be seen here." Zane didn't ask more questions. He just took off his jacket and gently put it around her shoulders. "You hungry?" he asked. "I have leftover lasagna and a 6-year-old who talks too much." The girl looked like she might cry again. "What's your name?" he asked. "Harper," she said quietly. "Harper DeWitt." Zane stopped moving because he knew that name. That name used to be on the office door of the man who cost him everything. He didn't say a word, he just opened his truck door and helped her get in. The engine made noise as Zane drove out of the parking lot. Harper sat quietly in the passenger seat, arms wrapped in the big jacket that still smelled a little like gas and pine trees. Her fancy dress, now ripped at the sleeve, looked strange in his beat-up Ford truck. "You're limping," Zane said, keeping his eyes on the road. "Did they hurt your ankle?" Harper looked down at her feet. Her high heel was broken completely off. "No," she lied, "just twisted it." Zane didn't ask more questions. He turned up the heat. 10 minutes later, they drove into a normal neighborhood. Old porch lights, kids, bikes in yards, one American flag waving in the night air. He turned off the engine and looked at her. "You don't have to come inside if you don't feel comfortable. I'll drive you anywhere you want." Harper looked at him, really looked at him. "You stepped in and put yourself in danger. You didn't even know who I was." Zane lifted one shoulder. "Didn't matter who you were, you needed help." That made her chest feel tight. She hadn't heard words that honest in years. Inside, the house was small, clean, and filled with warmth. A few crayon drawings hung on the refrigerator. A worn couch faced a TV playing cartoons on low volume. A pair of pink rain boots sat by the door. "And then Daddy," Lily ran from the hallway, arms wide. But when she saw Harper, she stopped, eyes wide. Zane knelt down. Hey, this is Miss Harper. She's going to stay a little while. She's had a hard night, okay? Lily nodded seriously and walked up to Harper. You want my blanket? She asked. It's soft. Harper knelt down, tears almost spilling. That would be amazing. Dinner was quiet. Harper barely ate her food while Zane and Lily talked about school bullies and how her dad made the best spaghetti lasagna in the whole universe. Harper's chest hurt, not from fear but from realizing that this tiny kitchen, this warmth, it felt more like home than her mansion ever had. Later that night, Harper sat on the couch with a cup of tea. Zane came out of Lily's room, rubbing his eyes. You didn't have to bring me here, Harper said. I didn't have to stop those kids either, Zane replied. She looked down. Why did you? Zane sat on the arm of the chair. Because I've seen what happens when people don't help. Overseas, here at home, doesn't matter. When you walk past someone crying, you lose a piece of yourself. She swallowed hard. You were in the military. Marine Corps, 12 years, scouting and personal protection. Her head shot up. Personal protection. Personal security detail. Her heart skipped a beat. Her father had hired dozens of personal security people over the years. Zane's eyes didn't change, but inside he was screaming. He knew exactly who she was now. Harper DeWitt, daughter of Mitchell DeWitt, the CEO who fired Zane and publicly put him on a bad list after a scandal Zane had nothing to do with. A scandal that almost destroyed his chance of adopting Lily. You okay? He asked her. Harper nodded. I was just thinking, no one's ever protected me like that, not without wanting something. Zane stood up slowly. Then you've been around the wrong people. Harper's voice cracked. Yeah, I guess I have. He left her with a pillow and blanket. As he turned off the lights, he didn't say goodnight. He just said, you're safe here, no one's going to hurt you. And she believed him. For the first time in years, she believed someone. But what neither of them knew was that someone had followed her that night, and by morning the news would be on every screen in America. CEO's daughter caught in shocking scandal, seen running away in a stranger's truck after alleged attack. The sun had barely come up when the banging started. Zane reached for the baseball bat under his bed. A soldier's training never fully goes away. He was already moving toward the door when he saw Harper frozen in the hallway, still wearing his jacket, holding Lily close. He gently pushed them behind him, then opened the door. Not police officers, worse, news reporters, dozens of them, cameras, microphones, reporters pushing microphones in his face. Sir, do you know who you helped last night? Is it true she was attacked in the parking lot? Did you know that's Harper DeWitt, heir to DeWitt Tech? Zane didn't move. He stepped out, closed the door behind him, and spoke with ice in his voice. She's a young woman who was attacked. That's all that matters. Now leave. A few camera flashes later, he shut the door, pulled the curtains closed, and turned slowly. Harper stood in the living room, eyes wide. You know, she whispered. Zane's jaw was tight. I recognized you last night, but I didn't care. Harper stepped forward. But you do care now. I care that those people were outside my house. I care that they scared my daughter, and I care that you didn't tell me what kind of trouble was following you. Harper's voice broke. I didn't think it would happen like this. I didn't know my father would. Zane's voice cut in, low and sharp. Your father ruined my life. She froze. What? 3 years ago, I was working security for DeWitt Tech. I stopped a break-in. I reported someone in your dad's inner circle. Harper's lips opened in shock. And the next morning, I was fired for breaking the rules. No recommendation letter, no pension, just gone. My security clearance was destroyed. My adoption of Lily almost got denied because of that black mark. Tears filled Harper's eyes. I didn't know. You wouldn't have, Zane said, because people like your father make sure no one knows. The room went silent. Then Lily peeked out from behind the hallway door, her voice shaking. Daddy, are we in trouble? Zane knelt immediately and picked her up. No, baby, we're okay. Harper stared at them, her throat hurting. That night she'd been the victim, but this morning she realized Zane had been the victim for years and her last name caused it. Later, Harper sat at the edge of the couch, guilt and shame curling inside her. I want to fix it, she said quietly. Let me fix what he did to you. Zane shook his head. You don't owe me anything. She looked up, fire in her voice. That's not true, and I'm done living with people who run away from consequences. I'm not my father. Zane looked at her, really looked, and for the first time saw it. She wasn't like her last name. She was like Lily, gentle, strong, trying to be good in a world that was anything but. Then the front door shook again, but this time it wasn't the news reporters. It was Mitchell DeWitt's security team. They didn't knock, they didn't ask. The front door burst open like a war zone attack. Two men in black suits and earpieces stepped in first, checking the area like they were searching a building in a war. Zane's hand went to Lily, pulling her close with practiced skill. Then came Mitchell DeWitt, tall, good-looking, gray hair slicked back, expensive watch catching the morning light, and a look in his eyes that could silence boardrooms and presidents alike. "Harper," he barked, "get your things, you're coming home." Harper stood up. "You don't get to tell me what to do anymore." Mitchell's lip curled. "Do you have any idea what you've done? Paparazzi leaks, you're everywhere and you're hiding in a stranger's house like some reality TV mess." Zane stepped forward. "Watch your tone." Mitchell barely looked at him. "And you, I remember you, I'm surprised. You've stabbed so many people in the back, I figured I was just another number." Zane's eyes got dark. "You tried, but the Marines don't erase men like me." Harper's voice broke through. "I'm not leaving with you." Mitchell turned, shocked. "What?" "I'm staying here at least until I decide what I want to do. I'm not some game piece in your reputation war." "This man," Mitchell pointed at Zane like he was trash, "is a nobody. You're throwing away everything for someone who fixes cars and lives off gas station coffee." Zane stood still, but Lily stepped forward, and with a simplicity only a child could have, she said, "He fixed my scooter and he made me pancakes when I was sad. He's not a nobody." The room fell silent. Even Mitchell was shocked for a second. Then Harper walked up to her father and whispered, "If you hurt Zane's life again, I will go public with everything you've hidden." Mitchell blinked. Harper leaned closer, "Including what you did to Mom before she died." He froze. Harper's eyes were steady now. "You leave or I walk into every news outlet tomorrow and talk." Mitchell hesitated, then nodded at his men. They left without another word. Zane looked at her. "That wasn't nothing." Harper breathed out like she'd been underwater for years. "I think," she said quietly, "I just stopped being afraid of my own last name." That night, Lily drew a picture of the three of them on the refrigerator. Harper laughed when she saw it. "Why'd you draw me with a sword?" she asked Lily. "Because you're brave now," Lily said, "like Daddy." Zane didn't speak. He just looked at Harper for a long, quiet second, and for the first time in years he smiled. 3 days later, the news conference was announced. The media expected a simple denial. They didn't expect her to show up. Harper DeWitt stepped onto the stage in front of a dozen cameras, reporters talking quietly in confusion. She wore no makeup, no jewelry, just a plain navy shirt and her chin held high. "I wasn't kidnapped," she began, voice calm but strong. "I wasn't drunk, I wasn't running from a scandal." Pause. "I was running from the people who created one." Reporters fell silent. "I was attacked outside my university. No one helped me except one man, a single father, a veteran who didn't ask for my name or status. He just did the right thing." She looked straight into the camera lens. "His name is Zane Holloway, and 3 years ago my father put him on a bad list for doing that same thing, protecting someone." Whispers turned into chaos, flashes exploded, phones buzzed, DeWitt's stock went down 5% in 7 minutes. But Harper didn't move. "I will not be part of a company or legacy built on fear, silence, or revenge." She placed a folded document on the podium. "My resignation, effective immediately, and my full cooperation in any investigation involving misconduct during my father's time in charge." The crowd erupted, but Harper didn't stay to hear it. She turned, walked off stage and into Zane's old truck parked just outside the gate. Inside, Lily handed her a juice box. "You were on TV," she said. "You looked like a superhero." Harper smiled. "Thanks, partner." Zane kept his eyes on the road. "You didn't have to burn it all down." Harper looked at him, her voice quiet. "I wasn't burning it down, I was clearing the ground to build something better." The next weeks were crazy for the DeWitts, but not for Zane, because something changed in town. People stopped ignoring him. A former colonel showed up at his garage and shook his hand. A local investor offered to help make his shop bigger. And Harper, she didn't disappear, she stayed. She helped rebuild the office, cleaned grease from the garage floors, brought Lily art supplies, and sat beside Zane on the porch each night like she belonged there. One evening, Zane turned to her. "Why'd you really stay?" Harper looked up at the stars. "Because you saw me, not my last name, not the mess, me." He nodded once, and then, for the first time since the war, since betrayal, since heartbreak, Zane took off the chain around his neck, the one with his Marine tags. He placed them in her palm. "I only give these to the people I trust to watch my back." Harper stared at him, heart pounding. "I'll guard your back," she whispered, "and your daughter's." Zane leaned in, not for a kiss but just to rest his forehead against hers. It was quiet, but it was everything. Epilogue: Mitchell DeWitt was removed as CEO. The DeWitt Foundation was investigated, then shut down. Zane's small shop became Holloway Garage and Security Solutions, run by a veteran and backed by a woman who once feared her own name. And every night, a single light glowed from their front porch where a little girl, a single dad, and a once-lost daughter of a CEO laughed like they'd always belonged together. Because they did.